Howdy, folks. What to do? I hope you're treating yourselves oh so well, and of course others. My name is Clair, and this is a channel where we like to do tarot readings. Today I thought we would get into a love reading. So whatever pile, whether you're single, starting to talk to someone, or in a relationship, falling out of a relationship, this is hopefully for you. So I'm hoping to channel love in general and hope the messages are helpful. Okay, so pile 1. You were the fool. 0. The fool. People really enjoy that you give the opportunity to speak. I think you attract people that are a little emotionally shut down in certain ways. So even if you don't bring up the conversation, it's almost like there's something in you that has been a little avoidant or emotionally, I'm hearing deranged, but it could be like in your mind you think you have some sort of emotional attachment or tie that's kind of flawed, but there is either someone that is new, it kind of seems like it's new, or maybe someone who didn't get off the ground with you, that it kind of failed before it took off. But someone thinks you are really easy to talk to, or you would be very easy to talk to in times of heated debate or trial. It's almost like you don't enjoy fighting for the sake of fighting, and that is a commodity. It's something that people really appreciate and they notice in you. You might think you're a pushover, and you might have had really hard times with saying no to people, and that was hurtful to you for yourself to not be able to put up those boundaries. But there's a lot of people, or someone new, it's like it's true to you to be approachable it's almost like people knew you were approachable the whole time, or they knew your purity, or it's like you could have been taken advantage of because people knew that you had the right intentions. You want to be in love. You want it to be amorous and sufficient. You just want to make things right. And I think at times in the past, maybe people use that to their advantage to pull at your emotions in certain ways, or act dumb, play stupid. Like there was almost a lack of communication between you and other people because it was more comfortable that way, the death, and you're putting it into it and people are realizing it, but it's attracting. I think it's really tantalizing the way that you almost can play with the truth. You make it a joke if it's something you know a person is. If you know a person has a trait or an inability to comprehend in certain ways, you don't think of them as a bad person. You think of this person, and others realize this too, and it's very helpful for you not to take people and make them your enemies. It's almost like you work around those things. Like if you can tell someone is kind of emotionally hardened, they act like they're not very open or whatever, you'll joke about things. You bring it to the forefront. You say small truths that inch people that are really emotionally shut down forward. And I think that you're doing that currently. I think that you're helping someone move forward emotionally by almost playing with the truth. It's almost like you aren't burdened by the fact that things are the way they are. Oh my gosh, okay. Yeah, the Death and the Ace of Cups. It's almost, you're playing with the truth. You aren't burdened by the way that things are and how people have faculties that differ from yours. If a person doesn't do certain things in a relationship that you're used to, you'll either, if it's really detrimental, I think you'll either bring it up, or like if it really bothers you, you'll bring it up, and not in a hasty, malicious way. I think you kind of sneak it in a I almost want to say callous. It's almost like you don't care about the answer. You present the information that's true to you. You're like, I need things to be this way, or I can't be a part of this any longer. You don't try to change people, and I think that you're helping someone change, whether it be people from the past looking at you and being like, okay, this person is like a formidable opponent, almost like people seeing that you could have been communicated with, you could have been talked to, and things could have been alleviated in a lot simpler ways than they've divulged in current circumstances. I wanted to say naturally, but it's almost unnatural the way that things happened, because something is burdened. You're burdened by a past person, and they're burdened by this too. But there's also this like new feeling that you're bringing a very cold or reserved person, a very calculated person from the depths of themselves. The Nine of Cups. I think you're really helping someone realize that communication could be more fun. The way that you communicate with people is motivational, because it almost seems like you get something out of being able to alleviate something off your mind. Like you'll make a joke about it, and it's almost like that's what you get out of it. You get to speak your piece on the situation. You're letting it being known that you are observing this behavior or whatever that's going on around you about this person. And you're making it known to this person that you're observing it, but you're not making it like an ultimatum. You're not like, I need you to be different. You're just like, oh, I noticed that you're da 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 da. Or yeah, you're just observant in a lot of ways. And I think the fact that you're a observant person makes you formidable to this. Like they think that you are interesting because you are fully aware of what's going on, but still you don't have enough ties in it to be combative. You don't want to fight for a change if something is not the Sun in reverse. Oh my gosh, yeah. You're going with the flow immaculately. And it's actually scaring a lot of people from the past, because they're like, well, my life is kind of fucked right now, or things are a little tumultuous right now, and this person seems to be going about their business like normal. Like you would have been easier to just talk to than worked around. And I think people are realizing working around you is not as hidden as they thought they were. Or maybe they thought in the past that the way that they were was, or maybe they don't spend enough time with people to even realize how they are as a person. Maybe they are not. You're identifying ways of a person with a person and they're kind of enjoying your company in the process, because you're stern, you're strict, you're observant, you say things how they are, but you're good conversation. It's the way that you say things how they are. It's almost like this person knows that you're going to be truthful and that you have honor as like a shield, that you're kind of a tough person, but you're an honest and forthright person, and they like that. They like that. A lot of people like it. People are observing how if you don't wanna that you're gonna shine, you're not forceful about it though. That if things are supposed to be into your life, they will be there, and they will be malleable in the face of, they'll step up to the plate. It's almost like people know that you're not going to beg, and you're looking good. I can't stress that enough. It's almost like the Nine of Cups. you got the Nine of Cups. So people think that you're the total package and that you're buildable in every way, form, or fashion. And even if you're not getting that sort of action, because you had the Sun in reverse too, it's a divine timing, has a lot to play with this, because the Nine of Cups, it's almost like one more cup would be the 10, which would be ultimate fulfillment, ultimate satisfaction, glory. And it's the one cup is you. You are the 10 of Cups right now for yourself. And it's almost like timing has to prevail in certain ways. It's a slow process. You are a slow burn in a lot of ways, but that's how you know it's sustainable. And I think that you're kind of aware of that too. It might be kind of a nuisance dealing with a lot right now, but your slow burn is really starting to heat up, and it's gaining traction in a lot of ways. Whether, I don't think you have an idea of how the results are going to come or how things will result, but rest assured you are on the right path, and you're doing it big. You're doing it good. It's good. All right, you gotta know I love you. Hello, party people, pile 2. Hi, this is love reading, so I hope the messages are helpful. And you could be, if I'm stressed, you could be single, taken, coming out of a relationship, going through it. So pile 2, let's get your card. That's not it. Okay, the Sun. We love the Sun card, especially this one. It's very Art Deco. It reminds me of like a theater. Okay. My shining star. People are seated and watching you. So you got people's attention because it looks like aisles or rows of seats, and as I mentioned, a theater, and it's the Sun. So let's get some clarifiers. Ooh, we got 3. Okay, you got the 8 of Swords in reverse, the 8 of Rods, the 8 of Wands upright, and then the 3 of Rods. Okay, you are starting to see your future a little bit more clearly, or how to move forward in a way with someone. I think maybe even having a conversation with someone, I think would either provide a way forward or you figuring out what you need from a situation. There's a definite need. The 8 of Swords in reverse, a period of time you were allowed to feel out something in your life, presumably about love. You were feeling something out, and now you're going faster, but it's because you have identified a way out or upon something. It's through a conversation, though. I think you realize how a conversation needs to be handled, and you're ready to deal with the results of it, whether it be positive or negative, because people have the right of will always in life, and that's why these readings are helpful but not definite. In a lot of situations you have to, because people's right to choose really messes things up. If they choose something different, then things are not going to work out that way. Is what it's almost like you've dealt with a period of information being relayed and then diminished. So apparently maybe people were talking about you in certain ways, or someone got information, maybe a new person was getting to know you and thought you were a certain way, but now is realizing the error of their ways instead. You were being observed in a negative, harsh way, and you've prevailed by standing the test of time, by being a part of the future. You chose to divulge your emotions openly. You've been kind of an open book in a sense of you no longer hide the way that you are. It's almost you are acting a certain way to get results from other people or another person. You were hiding yourself or making yourself smaller in some way, acting different from how you were having to constantly think about if you were going to offend someone, if they would appreciate the way you were acting, posting, things like that. You were really paying attention to other people or another person. And now this person is paying attention to you, realizing you might be moving on. Oh my gosh, these noises. It's almost like someone maybe realizes that you're moving on faster than they realized. Maybe they thought that they had more time in a situation, seeing as you guys are maybe visually meant to be in some way, form, or fashion. It just seemed like this is the end game. And this person thought, this kind of goes back to Will. This person thought, we're going to end up together no matter what. It doesn't matter what I do up until this point. I'm just going to work on myself and not deal with that. And they're realizing that if they don't make the moves don't happen. They don't magically afford themselves into a lifestyle if you are constantly working against what you think you are trying to get. It's like this person thought that things were going to result a certain way while actively acting against that. Like they said, they maybe not even said anything. This is just a example how maybe they wanted things to result in a certain way. They wanted it to be good between you two. They wanted to have their cake and eat it too, I guess. I don't really super love that term, but it's almost like this person thought that they could just do what they needed to. And it's almost like they needed to they needed past cycles to end anyways, but they extended those cycles, which it put you guys on hold for a long period of time. And then you finally broke free from this person and you're moving away from them at the speed of light. And they didn't realize that would happen because they thought that you were hung up on them or that you weren't that serious about them, that you were an option, and they thought that the fact that you were an option was not hurting you in some way, form, or fashion. They thought that they weren't hurting you as much as they were the temperance. And they're starting to feel the weight of, wow, if I didn't try at all, and because of that, nothing is resulting in this arena, in this field. How they thought things would result, they didn't, because they didn't make one move towards it. They let it walk past them. They let it go past them. They let it move on. They let you move on. And they realized that you're to be taken seriously. I don't think that they took you seriously at one point. Or maybe they were too wrapped up in their own feelings. They have a thing with, this person has a desire to feel good more than clean up the mess that they made at one point in time. The Seven of Cups. Oh my gosh, now they're just confused. Oh my gosh, okay. So this person at one point in time chose to feel better over working with you, whether it be as nasty as just carnal feelings, like they wanted to just get off. Or maybe they tried to get away from you and move on in some way, form, or fashion, thinking that the tides would bring you back together. And the Seven of Cups, now they don't know what's going on. Now they don't know anything about you. And you don't look at them anymore. And you don't make art about them anymore, I'm hearing. It's almost like you have moved on so rapidly that they can't even identify if there was a one point in time where they thought you were posting about them or thinking about them all the time. Now they're questioning that. They're questioning a lot of things. And the Four of Cups, unsettled. They like you a lot. And it's almost like you are in a different mindset. You want this person, but you don't know if you don't watch them at all. You don't look at this person. You don't know anything about this person pretty much because they hurt. They hurt to look at. And now you don't know what's going to happen either because you're not paying attention to them, but they pushed away from you and it was easy. Being away from you, not paying attention to you, they can distract themselves in certain ways, but they have a longing, a very strong longing, and they're worried that you don't, that you're fulfilled other places in life, that they're just another person, whereas you felt like the one to them, but they didn't make any moves towards you. And I guess maybe they don't know how to have a conversation with you about that now, or they're trying to figure out if they could. I think that this person wants to judgment. I feel like they're cross-eyed at this point. They're scared of talking to you. I think there's a real visceral reaction to you in a lot of ways, and the thought of you moving on, being with someone else, it makes them ill, sick. They don't like it, but they could be with someone else as well, or they have options, or they made you an option. And judgment had its day where you think about this person and you have a certain compassion and appreciation for them, but you don't know them, and you're getting to know perhaps other people, and I think you're just kind of curious. There's just a curious nature about, I'm going to do one more card. The Tower, yeah. How will this all end? And is it going to end? You just have, right now is a period of time where I think life is making a lot, because you got the Judgment in the Tower, like, hello. Things that are out of your control. It's almost like a natural disaster. A natural disaster. Okay, it's almost like life is kind of the things that we've chosen, the places that we're at right now. Life is kind of like coming over all of us and supplying the judgment that will help change us for the better. So if you are caught in the act of doing something kind of outside of your character as a forthright, great person, then you have seen some judgment as of lately. And this person, perhaps, yes, maybe they're perceiving life as a big tower right now. So they don't even know what to say. Of course, I'm sure that you kind of understand that this person needs a lot of time, or may need an indefinite amount of time. Like, you maybe never will talk to this person again. It's almost like that. You are kind of like, am I going to talk to this person again? Or am I on my path outwards because they didn't make the choice? Because we have free will. We have the ability to not get the things that are provided for us on this earth. We can mess things up to the point that they don't work anymore. So I think that this person is trying to figure out if that's where they're at, what is there to be built upon, what's there to be fixed. And I think you're doing that too, but you're not doing it in the face of this person. Like, you don't look at them and consider them any longer. You do not consider them since the day that they were inconsiderate, and it to the point that you couldn't be a part of their life anymore. So I think that this person is trying to figure out what can be in their life moving forward. And with that, you gotta know I love you. Pile 3. Hello. Pile 3. Today's word. Okay. The word of the day is love. Okay. So we're getting love messages or advice single, taken, going through it. Oh my god, I love this card. I just saw this and I love doing this. I'm so sorry. Doesn't it look like I'm wearing it? Okay. Your card. Just trying to get it together. The Death card. Love messages. Let's get it. It's almost like your path forward is through something, I'm hearing. You have to overcome something to move forward. Hi, y'all. Okay. The Six of Coins. A back and forth. The way forward is through you talking, you being more communicative with a person that you don't think wants to talk for some reason, or putting yourself out there way more frequently. If you're talking to someone, there is a need to alleviate emotional strain more frequently by just speaking up. And I think that you will find that it is not as taxing on your mental state. There's something where you like to hold things in and provide for yourself. You like to do things on your own. If there are tasks that you can do, you will do them on your own if you can. So that is what we are working away from right now. And you are saddling up. You have the Hangman in reverse, and it's a snake staring at you. It's almost like you're in your own way right now because you are not speaking your truth. It's almost like you could be alleviating the battle in your head with conversation, perhaps. Maybe not even divulging what you're going through with people, but I think lighthearted conversation with others will just kind of get you out of a headspace that you've been frequenting as of lately. Okay. The Knight of Wands, yeah. So you're very close to the end of something, and it's almost like you have to have a few conversations to feel that your way out is dignified. It's interesting. Because she's looking in the mirror, but it almost looks like she's walking away or out of something. She's got a bunch of wands behind her and she's looking in the mirror. Perhaps you're needing to realize the ways that you want to communicate with people. Okay, so you are a very rigid person when it comes to how you deal with people in the past. Perhaps you cut them off immediately. You don't communicate. You just let people go or let them go about their business. It doesn't have to be you're kind of a hard ass, but you don't you're loving. People don't want to step on your toes. They don't want to hurt you or push against you if you've already made up your mind. It's almost like they respect you or they're fearful of your reaction. So people kind of let you do your thing and give you your distance if you call for it. But there's a need for you to speak up in a situation, either about your emotions or the state of things in some way, form, or fashion. It could be outwardly, like speaking more about it online or with a person. You being where you're at mentally would be helpful. I don't think you need to have this sense of it's almost like a sense of superiority or something. There's a moat that you have built around you in order to not get hurt. And people think that they would have to swim across waters full of like crocodiles and predators. They would be very scary to try to meet you on the other side. So you need to let down your bridge. There's a drawbridge. You're a castle. You have a drawbridge that helps people get from one side to the other, and you're wanting people to see you more frequently. You want people to be more open to you. And I think that the more frequently that you open yourself up to conversation, change in how people treat you, it's almost like you need to let go of the what ifs of, what if this person doesn't like the way that I approach this, or what if this person doesn't agree with me and we are no longer on talking terms. Like, you could get denied in certain situations by having conversations with people, and I think that's what in the past has been a scary or you've been fearful of people's reaction to your honesty. You need to be more honest with yourself and others. It's almost like speaking your truth more frequently will help you know what your true center is, because you could have a little bit of a skewed vision of what you deserve, for better or worse. You could put yourself on a pedestal too high, or you could think of yourself too low, but there's something that's off right now. And the Page of Swords, it's almost like you need to put into play very quickly, because the Emperor in reverse as well. You need to start speaking up way more frequently. If it's for yourself in person, if you need to be more, it's almost like you've hidden back inside of yourself. You need to be more present for people in person. There's a thing where maybe you go out or you're around certain people and you have a front in some way, form, or fashion, because that's what you're perceiving the situation as. But you need to be more yourself. I think that you hide your personality from people, fearful of them taking it on or you giving too much in a situation. You need to be 100%. You need to put yourself on display because it makes you a formidable opponent and or partner. The Five of Cups, there's almost like a lack of confidence that people can smell. It's the whole animalistic aspect of humans. People can kind of smell that you might be a live wire or too shut down emotionally. There's something where you presenting yourself in an outwards way, emotional way, whether it be communicating more, talking more, commenting, something like that, putting yourself out there with a person that you actually know and that you're just like casual with, or maybe if you're dating right now, starting to date, or if you're getting more serious with someone, there's conversations that you need to bring up. When you think of them, how you think of them, you need to bring them up. And if it doesn't go well, then you're learning a process that you should be around people at this point that reciprocate, that if you communicate something and it's a little off kilter, then they can help you grow, that they don't break you down, that they don't hold things against you because of the way that you saw them at one point. You're at a point in life where you need to make sure that people actually will help you grow, that even when you're off, that they can help you find your true center. And because you can do that for yourself, but it also takes, if you're going to be around people, it also takes the handling of others, and it takes you letting them being able to handle you, like be present enough for people to be a part of your life. I think that you will really enjoy, and people really will enjoy, remembering things about you, the inside jokes, the Magician in reverse. It's almost like you have so much to give and you've been pent up, fearful that people will take advantage of how cool you are, how fun you are. You need to put that out there. You need to be more outgoing, because you have the Magician in reverse. You're giving your power no time of day, where if you start to work slowly upwards, I think you either will get closer to a person that you want to, closer to some aspect of life that you want to, that you love more, but you'll also find the things that you're trying to change about yourself that are not conductive to you growing. maybe you're just feeling a little worn down by the fact that it's taken a really long time for you to have any sort of sensation of love or feelings at all, and you're kind of just callous to it. The magician is wearing a mask, so there's a thing where you enjoy the mask, or there's an aspect of you that does need to remain a little reserved, but you're finding the happy balance of where to give, how to give, who to give to. And I think that comes with practice, and you need to allow yourself to fulfill that. You need to practice. You need to get out there or start moving forward. The idle hands, man. We don't need those. So with that, you gotta know I love you. You got this, okay?